Hey everybody, so in this video we're talking about the vertex form of a quadratic equation, and we're specifically looking at characteristics. So this is the standard form of a quadratic in vertex form. So here you have this a value. This represents your stretch or compress factor. Your h is your horizontal movement, and k is your vertical movement. So with A, when I talk about stretch and compress, a stretch occurs anytime A is greater than 1. So look at what happens to my parabola. You see how these edges here appear to be getting closer and closer to the y-axis? So this is called a stretch. A stretch would make the parabola more narrow. A compress occurs anytime A is greater than 0 but smaller than 1. So see, as A gets closer and closer to 0, this compresses. So the y values are accelerating at a much slower rate. That's what that refers to. All right. So if I go back and I make this 1, okay, now h, this is your horizontal movement. Okay, so it moves this dot to the right and to the left. So here I can move to the right. I can also move to the left. So this value here only affects your left and right direction, where k is going to be your vertical movement. So here k would move it up and k would move it down. So here, if I play these, my parabola moves up and it moves down. H moves right and left. I could play both at the same time. Hey, look at there. Then it gets really kind of trippy when you play the A value as well, because then it's going to stretch and then it's going to compress and get really wide. All right. So that's it. That's your characteristics. So anytime you have a parabola that is above the x-axis, we know that the value of k has to be positive, right? Because it's above the x-axis. The y value of the y value here, that vertical shift, is positive. If it's below the x-axis, then we know that it is negative. Same thing with h. With h, if we move to the right, this is a positive shift to the right. There we go. So this would say x minus 3 or x minus positive 2, x minus positive 1. People get confused because if it says x plus 3 in this equation right here, x plus 3, people think, oh, positive 3, that's a shift to the right. Well, that's not true. It's a shift to the left, because this is the form of a quadratic in vertex form. So this here, x minus negative 3, would make that x plus 3. So you kind of need to remember that. Whatever the sign is in here, you almost want to think the opposite side. So if this said x plus 3, that's a shift to the left. If it said x minus 3, that's a shift to the right. All right, that's going to be all for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and we'll see you all in the next video.